Hey YouTube, this is Sandra coming from Marin County, California. And today is Wednesday, June 18th. Today is my week 66 update. I don't normally number them, but I probably ought to. You guys make the effort to, and it is kind of nice when I know that I like to look for YouTube videos of people who are further out at this stage of my own adventure. Wow, it is summer and I have so many plans coming up. It's really fun. I'm looking forward to it. In a lot of ways, I guess my travels are not so dissimilar and similar from previous years. Although it is nice to do it at a smaller size. I don't have any I'm trying to think if I have anything really fantastic in a physical sense coming up. I don't think I do. But of course, any kind of travel is a lot easier when you've lost over 100 pounds. My highest weight was 364 pounds. That was quite a while ago. Before surgery, my highest weight was 295. At surgery, I was 287. Today, I am 178, and that makes for a total loss of 117 pounds from before surgery. But overall, from 364, that is a total loss of 186 pounds, and that's pretty freaking phenomenal. I guess I'm thinking on people who've lost 200 pounds in a year. Can't imagine what that's like. Speaking of which, last night I watched the Renew show, and last night they had Pete Sleeve Rocker on, and I mean he had his I also had the sleeve. We had both had our sleeves done in 2013. He had his done about 2 weeks after mine. He had his in April, mine was in March of 2013. And he has some real physical obstacles between a malfunctioning or barely functioning liver, cirrhosis of the liver, and some pretty serious back issues. I can see why he felt really compelled to do the surgery. I felt compelled for my own health reasons. He has done phenomenal, continues to do. I mean, right now his biggest challenge is to keep his weight on. I was listening to him talk about the importance of lifting weights in terms of building up muscle, and the afterburn of weightlifting being much more significant or long lasting than maybe simply walking, although walking is great. Just the added benefits of doing some heavy lifting, and a term I had not heard before, which was lifting till failure or through failure, something like that, lifting till fail or failure. And then he gave a nod to JMac VSG, who's going to be on the Renew show next week. And, they've just recently had some fantastic guests on. These are all people who've lost just huge amounts of weight, and transformations are nothing less than exceptional. I'm really looking forward to J-Max. I just rewatched one of his videos yesterday, and he was saying that, as in God, I don't want to put words in somebody else's mouth, but my understanding of what he was saying, because the guy's pretty ripped looking, clearly he's into some serious fitness, but as far as the weight loss goes, he was very clear that the weight loss is associated with what you're eating and not so much how you're moving. I guess Pete's part was, if you are doing all this this weightlifting though, and you're bulking up your muscles, it does assist with your metabolism and helps you burn calories longer, which obviously helps your weight loss too. So somewhere between those two messages, I hope I took away something. I know at the gym today, when I saw my trainer, I kind of said, hey, Lee, if I came to you today instead of where you saw me, which was 120 or so pounds ago, if I came to you today as a new client at this size, at this height, at this age, what would you have me doing? I want you to, step up. I feel like we've been doing a lot of the same things. Some of them I can do a lot more, obviously. And he has slowly introduced me to things, but I saw these two guys. I've been watching their videos, and I just was like, the hell with that. Let's step this up. So we did. Everything we did today was totally different. We did planks, we did side planks, we did some hanging leg lifts, we did some jackknives, we did some lunges with weights, we did some squats on the Bosu ball. That was a really good workout, and yet still I'm not like, oh, I'm all tuckered out. I can't do anything, or I feel sore. I mean, maybe I'll feel a little sore later, but I would say that my body was totally up to it, and that, in fact, I think he still is thinking too much of me at, 100 plus pounds, and not looking at me as someone who can do a lot more. So what we did today was probably more than I thought I could do. It was definitely more than what he thought he could do. And it was pretty cool that even there were some things we started to do, like the jackknife, and that's like a real kind of lower abdominal kind of workout. I really didn't know if I had the strength to do it, and I did 10. So, we did a bunch of new things, didn't do a lot of any of them, probably at least 10 or so to 15. Boy, the hanging leg raises, that's where you're like literally hanging from some bars, and you're just, pulling. In my case, it was, with the knees kind of pulling up. I didn't do the straight leg, but anyways, I want to thank you two guys. Who knows if they even watch? Actually, I think Pete does. But anyway, I want to thank you two guys for the inspiration. And really, it was just enough motivation to make me push my guy to, do something more with me as my trainer. So I've been in the kitchen a lot. It's the summer. I bought a Vitamix last week. Yeah, totally insane indulgence. But I guess because I'm doing a lot more fruits and vegetables, and it just... I will tell you, my protein drinks made in that, they come out completely nicer. They're just smooth and velvety, and it's not big chunks of stuff, and I am thrilled. So it was an indulgence. I can afford it, but it just seemed like, you can afford certain things. It doesn't mean you have to go out and buy the best, the nicest, whatever. But I'm really impressed with it. And then I went on YouTube, and I did searches on things like paleo Vitamix. I tried a bunch of different kind of, weight loss oriented Vitamix things, and got inspired with a lot of recipes. So I'm going to be throwing in some spinach, some frozen banana. I'm going to be adding in some of these things to my protein drinks, and they really fill me up, especially when it's hot. And it's not particularly hot right now, but it's warm. I find that a really good protein drink on a hot day can be really filling. So let's see. Hey, I went to the library, and I picked up a few movies I'm going to watch. Not so bad with this. The Great Beauty. This is in the Lucky Days selection. So these are recent releases. Catching Fire. I really like those Hunger Game movies. I guess I've only seen one, but I'm looking forward to the second. No, I did not read the books. And this is in a world, which I heard about, like Belle, and it's a quirky independent movie, probably right up my alley. Kind of a comedy. I'm not always good with comedies. Some work better for me than others. Picked up, actually, these are my books. Something I'm just started, collection of short stories by one of my favorite hard-boiled novelists, fiction writers, Mortal Lock by Andrew Vax. He's an attorney who specializes in child abuse cases, and wrote fiction. Actually did quite well with it. And I'm going to be going to Morocco later in the year with my father. This is a book called Rick's Cafe, and it is the true story of a woman who took the film legend of Casablanca and went, and I think she was in foreign affairs, American worker, but in foreign affairs, left the civil service or foreign service to purchase and run and develop a restaurant based on Rick's Cafe in the movie Casablanca. It's pretty exciting. So I know that we will be going there, and it's really more about her travails working, trying to work things out with the local bureaucracy, the kind of crazy rules, and there's some Islamic overtones to it. Made it really difficult for her as a businesswoman to get certain things accomplished. Anyway, kind of fun. Took advantage of the farmer's market a couple weeks ago, and I'm still working through some of the produce. Armenian cucumber. Never had one of those before. Didn't know if I had to skin it. I Googled it. Nope, don't even have to skin it. I just kind of cut them up and eat them with maybe a little salt, sometimes a little dab of dressing. But I'm really kind of fine with vegetables these days. I don't need them all dressed up with things. So, but I find I do like a little salt. I've noticed I do eat a little more salt than I ever did before. My mom never had the salt on our dining room table, so my family in general, we are not big indulgers in it. But I do find with just eating, well, with a lot of things, I'm doing a little bit of sprinkling here and there. My sodium levels are fine and my heart's fine, so I'm good with it. Anyway, this is kind of fun. Got to say, they're actually pretty tasty and buttery. Never had that before. I took some of my plum cherries from my tree. These are cherry plums, excuse me. They're plums that are the size of cherries with pits, about the same size. I took a big bowl full of them. Actually, I've given away quite a few bowls, but I made about a dozen half pints of this preserve. It's somewhere in between like a syrup and a jam, so it is. I should have probably put in some pectin, but I didn't. Anyway, and I did put in the sugar that the recipe calls for. The recipe is basically plums, lemon, sugar, and water, and a real fair amount of sugar. And I've done it with less before and did not get a great result. They're just too tart. And the cooking process cooks out some of the natural sweetness and sugars, and so that's why they have you replace it with so much. I think that I would eat it. I was thinking, gosh, here I am making it and I can't eat it. Well, you know, if I were to buy the 100% Faye, I usually buy flavored yogurts, for good or for bad. But if I were to do something healthier and get the Faye 0%, I'd be comfortable with adding a teaspoon or two of this for flavor. And I had some yogurt today and I added chia seeds and ground flax meal for fiber, and actually kind of like how it gives it a little texture without a lot of carbs and with some other beneficial elements to it. Let's see. I did a few weeks ago a cracker haul. Actually, probably a couple months ago. It was one of my first videos, a cracker haul, and it was all these kind of paleo crackers that I bought at Whole Foods. Let me say categorically, they all were horrible. Like, I would have been better off eating the box they came in. They were absolutely horrible. I think some of them I tried a second time and I was like, oh, well, maybe it's not. No, they were really, really horrible. I have also found in the last few days that even those, and I keep buying them because I keep hoping that I can develop the discipline, the mental fortitude. No, I haven't, to handle brown rice cakes. Now, mind you, I live alone. I have stripped this house of pretty much everything bad. I do have some bags of that Sexy Pop. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks, Nirvana, and anybody else who did that product review. Yeah, bought me some boxes of that, or a box of that, the little bags. And even now, just thinking about it, I'm like, oh, as soon as I shut this off, I'm gonna go grab a bag. Those brown rice cakes are like, last night I took the remaining ones in the container. I went over to my sink and I filled the container with water, ruined them, and then I put them in the trash because I simply cannot trust myself around them. And I thought, well, you don't let yourself keep ice cream. I mean, I have sugar-free pops, but I don't seem to indulge too much in those. I might eat one or, two at the most, and I really very rarely do that. But for some reason, when it comes to crackers, crunchy carbs, I guess, man, I mean, thank God they're not that bad, but yeah, you eat enough of them and it's kind of, those 5-10 minutes ruin the rest of your day in terms of what you're trying to do. And in my case, I am trying to lose weight. You know what? Maintenance, I think I'll be fine with them. But for right now, they're not going to help me. So I had to get rid of those, and I just simply cannot buy anymore until I get to maintenance and feel like maybe I have some, well, I can bump up my calories a little bit. I don't know where my calories are. I am not tracking. That's not good, is it? I feel like I'm watching the, if I don't have those things in the house, I may have a rough count in my head, but I'm not physically tracking. Some of it is because what I make in the Vitamix, what I make in my recipes, what I'm taking out of my freezer and using it because I've got a party coming up and I want to be able to make root beer floats, which means I need to get some ice cream in. I don't remember what's in some of my recipes. I guess I don't have them logged properly, so I can't, I can guesstimate. Not logging. Probably that would be the next step for me, is to start tracking again using MyFitnessPal. I feel for the most part that I eat all the usual foods, so I already know their counts, and so I know I'm kind of focusing on how much protein I'm getting in. And if I'm not eating the bad stuff, I did eat a corn dog though, and I had a margarita last weekend, which I'd planned for. I mean, I'd planned for it for months, so I don't feel bad about that. And I only had one, and frankly, the margarita wasn't that good, which is a shame. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go, but I just want to again thank Sleeve Rocker Pete and J Mac VSG for their videos, which inspired me to do a lot more and to push my trainer to help me do a lot more in the gym today. Bye.